It was a sad, sad day when my excitement for season 6 of Friday Night Dinner was demolished by the watching of just the first 3 episodes. I had had high hopes, considering it was a show with funny characters and a detailed plot. And so when I sat down to watch the episode called The Caravan and wasn't satisfied by the end, I thought it was a one-off and that the rest of the episodes would return to being entertaining and flavourful.
But oh God, how wrong I was.
As I embarked through each episode, psychological tears welled in my eyes as the plot grew to be puny and weak, and Adam and Johnny didn't pull a single prank on each other for a whole 20 minutes. Only boomers would perceive the new Friday Night Dinner as a humorous comedy, as their innocent and naive eyes are too unwilling to admit that this show is no longer a beautiful masterpiece that brought families together. Let us grieve and mourn the old Friday Night Dinner and find out what exactly went wrong today on The Scarlet Show! First, let's look at the reviews. Shanice is obviously very correct, thank you Shanice. You're right, Bicycle Chain 58. I'm glad I'm not the only one. There are lots of people who are agreeing when I say something is not right here. The Caravan. Let's start with the pros. The episode had exactly enough Jim. He was introduced fairly early on, and he was brought back to the plot, but not so many times that he drowned out the other characters. Everyone had a few funny lines, and Adam and Johnny weren't excluded from the script because of their subplots of both having girlfriends. Sadly, that's pretty much it. Now for the cons. The acting in the previous seasons were realistic and fluent, but this time it felt slightly forced and wooden. If actors come across like they don't want to be there, you feel forced to painfully suffer with them. Their lack of enthusiasm was possibly due to them feeling like they had been through this before. Martin's caravan was similar to the state of his shed. The subplot of the brothers having secret relationships exposed had been done previously, and Jim spilling the toilet tank of sewage was similar to him spilling the red paint. The plot lacked originality and was underdeveloped, thus making it predictable and less realistic. The plastic bag. I hoped episode 2, The Plastic Bag, would be better, and it proved to be, in my opinion, the strongest out of the 3. The pros were that the plots were more unique, and some jokes actually made me laugh
out loud.
like Johnny making fun of Adam's interview. The acting was more determined, and it felt much more wholesome overall. But the cons were that, sadly, the stakes for the plots weren't high. There was no tension due to a person or a deadline, like there usually is, so the plot and subplot felt weak and malnourished. There also wasn't enough Jim, his only joke being his entrance into Adam's car. Also, poor Martin kept getting beaten up for no reason. I felt so bad for him. The au pair. Here's the pros. The actor who played Gibby was confident and well portrayed, and some of Jim's lines were funny, not to mention the plot of Gibby being their au pair was original and refreshing. But the cons were that there seemed to be a gaping hole in this episode due to the lack of subplot and Adam and Johnny. Jim was drowning out the other characters instead of supporting them, and Adam and Johnny had about 10 lines between the two of them. Adam and Johnny can, at times, be the heart and soul of the show. For example, in Series 4, Episode 4, I think I laughed out loud every 10 seconds due to Adam and Johnny pumping jokes and gags constantly. The episode felt pure, and the plot was unique and layered. In this episode, however, the subplot of Martin and the one-armed man was introduced too late and was underdeveloped. I felt the show shone the spotlight on Jim, taking away the theme of family and communication. Jim's purpose, as well as being unusual and hilarious, is to contrast with the Goodmans. He's lonely and is jealous of the chemistry and love they have for each other. By taking the theme of family away, we are left with a group of disconnected people bluntly watching a man make a fool of himself. The next episode of Friday Night Dinner hasn't yet been released, but I hope that it is a turnaround for the once heartwarming show that gave the nation pride. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please subscribe. You don't even have to turn on the bell. God, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna get some dinner.